When we speak of secret societies that lurk in the shadows around the world, the first thing that may come to your mind is the Illuminati or the White Brotherhood. But one that you may have slipped your mind is none other than the Holy See, otherwise known as the Vatican. For centuries, it has been suggested that this secretive organization could hold the key to understanding many of the Earth's greatest mysteries. Deep within the confines of their city lies a library full of artifacts and scrolls that stretch back thousands of years. But what exactly is hidden away in the Vatican Secret Library? Could they have evidence to suggest an advanced civilization thrived on Earth over 10,000 years ago? Provide us with proof of demonic possession? Or even show us that extraterrestrials have visited our planet? Join us on this pilgrimage as we uncover the written accounts and personal experiences of the secrets that the Catholic Church has kept hidden away, far from the sight of humanity. The history of the Vatican. The Vatican's history as the seat of the Catholic Church began with the construction of a basilica over St. Peter's grave in Rome in the 4th century AD. Since this early period, they have been collecting artifacts, scrolls, manuscripts, and texts from all across the world, some that likely long predate the founding of the Church. All of this is stored in what's referred to as the Secret Archives, a library that's over 50 miles long. One topic that makes the rounds on the internet every few years is the idea that within this collection of documents lie secrets that are so unsettling they would threaten the doctrine of the Catholic Church. But what is really hidden among the 70,000 artifacts? And could it really contain secrets that could change our outlook on humanity's history and evolution? The better-known ideas. One of the most popular theories surrounding what's hidden in the sway of items is centered on the Christian saint, Jesus Christ. According to claims, this evidence can either provide us with proof of his existence, or actually prove he was nothing more than a symbolic representation of how humans should live. Researchers have claimed that sources within the Vatican leaked this information. There were letters sent between Emperor Nero and St. Paul that spoke of a saint known as Jesus. Some scholars have interpreted this as evidence that the founder of Christianity did, in fact, exist. But the information has never been released, as it claims he was born to an African family. Another prominent theory is that the Vatican holds the third secret of Fatima. Back in 1917, 3 children from Portugal received apocalyptic visions and prophecies given to them by the Virgin Mary. While the first 2 visions were made public, the third secret wasn't revealed until the year 2000. However, many researchers claim this was not the original prophecy. To this day, it's thought the final vision is hidden within a document in the archives and is centered on a nuclear holocaust or cataclysmic event that will wreak havoc on humanity sometime this century. The previous theories hidden away by the Vatican may have surprised you, but what we have in store next will shock you to your core. For it's been suggested that deep within the secretive collection of artifacts this organization keeps away from the eyes of humans is proof that various ancient civilizations once thrived on our Earth over 10,000 years ago. Hidden history of humanity. As the Vatican slowly became the most dominant organization in the Mediterranean during the first millennium, it's no surprise they collected such a sway of ancient items. Some theories suggest they hold artifacts taken from ancient Egypt that speak of the origin of Atlantis and the advancements of this civilization. Among the items are papyrus scrolls that speak of the same story that was later written about by Plato in his work Timaeus. Both speak of an ancient worldwide culture that existed over 10,000 years ago before a great cataclysm struck the Earth. While this may seem like a far-fetched theory, in recent times, it's becoming increasingly apparent that such a civilization did exist during the last ice age. We know Plato's story of Atlantis originated in Egypt, and the Vatican itself is in possession of thousands of items from this ancient time period. So could they really have texts that speak of this ancient civilization? Time will only tell. As it stands, though, there is very little evidence to back up this theory. While the Vatican has been accused of many of the latter crimes of withholding valuable information centered on our ancient past, they are also accused of hiding evidence that would suggest spirits and demons exist here on Earth. Evidence of malevolent spirits. We've all heard the stories of Catholic priests and their battles against demonic possessions. While we generally assume exorcisms are but a practice reserved for Hollywood screens, according to records, this has been a part of the priesthood duties for over 1,000 years. Father Gabriele Amorth is a lay priest and served as the chief exorcist of the Vatican. He served for 60 years and is believed to have performed approximately 160,000 exorcisms. The rite, however, is not just limited to the lay chief exorcist. It has been performed by various popes over the years. It's thought that within the records of the secret archive are scrolls on how to perform an exorcism, but more importantly, where these demonic spirits originate from. Researchers into such paranormal activity have made reference to texts in the archives that speak of spiritual portals and how to open a bridge between our world and a demonic dimension. It's thought that satanic and religious cults of our past played a role in the opening of these portals with the sole intent of allowing the passage of demonic entities into our world. But if these secrets were true, what would that mean about our understanding of physicality? And would it suggest that there's a spiritual plane that mirrors that of the physical world? The Vatican's role in the escape of the Nazis. One prominent theory put forth by writer Gerald Steinecker claims that the Vatican holds documents that would prove they played a role in helping the Nazis flee from Europe. After World War II, many high-ranking military officials and members of the SS escaped to Chile, Argentina, and Brazil. In his book, Steinecker shows travel documents that somewhat prove the Vatican played a major role in helping the Nazis travel to these countries. He claims this was done in the hope of reviving European Christianity. However, to this day, the Catholic Church has refused to comment on these claims. But this isn't all. The Vatican is also accused of helping the Nazis loot art, gold, and property that once belonged to Jewish families. Gerald Posner wrote a book centered on these ideas, in which he claims Bernardino Nogara, the financial advisor to the Vatican during the war, was actually a Nazi spy. He is believed to have instituted a horrifying scheme that allowed the Vatican to invest money in Italian insurance companies that kept the assets from the life insurance plans of the murdered Jewish families. It's thought that evidence for both of these claims lies among the thousands of documents that are kept away from the eyes of the public. While this has been all but proved thanks to leaked documents from the secret archives, our next theory is one that will require an open mind. What we're about to talk about next may leave you shocked and terrified. Hidden history of aliens. With all things secretive and mysterious, our minds have the tendency to run rampant with theories. Over the years, the rumors of the secret archives have led some researchers to speculate that the documents contain proof that extraterrestrials have been visiting our planet for thousands of years. Not only this, but they are actively working with the Vatican to control the direction of humanity's evolution. One piece of evidence that often catches the attention of researchers is the writings of Giordano Bruno. The 16th century scientist made startling revelations about the universe and suggested that it was infinite and populated with many worlds. Could he have gained this information from extraterrestrials? Unfortunately, he didn't live long enough to speak of such an experience, as Bruno would be burned at the stake in 1600. But this isn't the only piece of unusual evidence that suggests the Vatican is proof that extraterrestrials have visited Earth. One source claims that hidden among the items of antiquity are various unusual skulls that some have claimed to be extraterrestrial in origin. However, our next claim may be the wildest of them all. In true Orwellian fashion, some researchers have even gone as far as to claim that the Vatican and its members serve malevolent extraterrestrials. At some point during the last millennium, they were corrupted by these visitors and are now conspiring to work with them to enslave humanity. One way they plan on doing this is by implanting every human on Earth with a microchip to observe and watch their every move. Yeah, it sounds pretty far-fetched, but when you observe China's social credit score and the implementation of chips into people's arms that allow people to pay wireless, it doesn't seem that far from reality. But as it stands, there is certainly no credible evidence to suggest that the Vatican is working with aliens, as fun as it may be to think about. And that's our video on the dark secrets hidden among the Vatican's secret archives. Do you think it's possible that the Church is hiding the existence of an ancient civilization? And is it possible they contain knowledge that would suggest demons have penetrated our world? Could there really be proof of aliens? Let us know all your opinions in the comments section below. Thanks for watching. See you next time.